want, and forget whatever you have been influenced by, because I think that now I am pretty much done reacting. I'm pretty much done reacting because, well, 8 months ago, I had already talked about the subject matter, and I haven't changed my mind about anything. Nothing. As a matter of fact, the more I see and the more I read, the more convinced I become that my original thought may actually be very true. Because when I first saw this image, I knew something is not right with this picture. And one thing one lady told me on Twitter back then was my brother's hands were the exact same way after he died. But other people said, well, her mouth is closed, right? But I also saw not long ago the image of a dead person in a hospital bed, and the mouth was closed there as well. And when I saw her image, I immediately thought about this particular picture. So I'm going to talk about a few things here, but let me let you settle in, and first of all, clear your minds, everybody, because in the last 2 weeks, I have not been impressed with the so-called new developments or the new findings. I'm not talking about the TBI, what they have released, but you see, 8 months ago, when I posted my videos about summer wells, people were not interested. And all of a sudden, people are very interested. But that means that now we have to revisit the original statements. And there are many. There are so many, I don't even know where to begin. And I am now allowing myself to go back to where I left off. And the reason I had left off was because I figured, dude, nobody's watching these videos that I make about summer. And of course, I was interested in Sebastian and later Lilly and Jack. So I put this all on my back burner. But when all of a sudden, when there was a lack of information coming out in the case of Jack and Lilly, where I said what I had to say, basically, it was a real positive surprise to me that all of a sudden people are interested again in a case that has been unsolved for years. And as Jack and Lilly and Sebastian, in my opinion, will officially remain unsolved, we might as well revisit a case where a few years ago people were getting burned out. They were getting burned out by misinformation and people, fabricating things and paying attention to the wrong stuff. So let me take you back to the things that have stood out to me in the very beginning. And Grendel, you are so right. A lot of things don't look right to me here. And I want to share with you real quickly something that I have brought up in my last live. And it is about an old case of Carolina Olsen. Can you see this? Ah, geez, man. Carolina Olsen also known as the Sleeper of Ocknau, was a Swedish woman who purportedly remained in hibernation between 1876 and 1908 for 32 years. This woman slept for 32 years. And I've read up on it more and more, and I believe it. I do believe this is the case. So what happened before? She suffered a head wound while outdoors at age 14, but seemed to recover from it quickly. And 4 days later, she complained of a toothache. Her family believed that her tooth was sore because of witchcraft, and she was ordered to go to bed. However, when she fell asleep, she did not wake up. I am very much looking primarily at the possibility that Summer hit her head on rocks. And I will stick with it. I don't care what you pay attention to. If you do, keep it to yourself. If it's from some other, if it's not from a rights, if it's not, we have to look at the language used by Hunter and by Candace. And I believe that Hunter is reliable when he talks about Summer going down in the water for 10 or 15 seconds, but I believe he is also deceptive when he talks about her being okay, because he avoids telling us whether or not Summer was asleep in the car when he was dropped off. I believe that Hunter, I believe he knows. Hunter knows. He doesn't want to tell us, people. So when I talk about a head injury, it's absolutely possible for somebody to have a head injury, and Candace introduced the rocks. Let's get back to the basics, guys. Allow yourselves. You see, when I first saw the picture, my first thought was, this seems kind of staged. The belt. It seems like this belt is there to keep her from falling over. And I consider the possibility that Summer is already deceased. It's a possibility, guys. And I'm going to go back now to the particular statement that you just sent to me, Julia, not long ago. Okay. Now I have to look it up. Where is it? About her arms. Gee, man. But I don't care. I'm going to take my time here, people. I'm going to take my time because I think that most of you have been, well, let me say it like this. I need everybody to clear their minds and get back to reality and be able to see what is there.
There's a simple way to protect your privacy online and get full access to...
Julia, where is that comment about the, what's it called? Yeah, yikes. Remember, Julia, there was this comment about her arms I think it was you who sent this to me. Summer had her arms up and then they dropped. Oh, wait, I got it. I got it. You see, it's very dangerous when people are not selective in terms of what they watch and have to change their minds later. And to me, that's very draining. Let's hear this.
Still didn't find her. And they said no. So I ran over. I freaked out. I called Donnie because that's what I do automatically. I freak out, you know.
You called Donnie.
I called Donnie. I said, I cannot. It's Summer. Come home now. He's like, call the cops. So I threw my phone down on the back of his pickup, ran over to my mom.
I threw my phone down on the back of his pickup. So his pickup was probably at the house, right? But how did he get to work? I mean, these are things that we need to clear up. We need to clear up what car did he take. And again, if you and Don had a phone conversation and Don, you know, if you didn't, the cops would have figured that one out, right? So let's not immediately assume that Don was actually there. And I believe the cops would have figured out where he was. And again, do we have this information? How much information do we have?
Picked up her phone because it's all it's out there is AT&T.
Okay.
So I picked up her phone. I said, I can't my daughter. And they sent people out, and I wasn't just standing there and waiting for them to send people out.
Right.
I jumped in my mom's truck and I went down the driveway as fast as I could. I went everywhere I could possibly think, every road which way. I hadn't seen no cars, I hadn't seen nobody at all. And I was like flipping out. I was a hot mess, as you call it.
Okay.
It makes no sense. The only thing that can come.
It makes no sense. She's looking out there. But I forgot one part. And that is right here. Is it 16?
I see her face.
Every time I look around, I see her face. I know it sounds like a song lyric, right?
I don't know if I can tell you.
Well, help me understand.
I don't know what else I could tell you. When somebody tells you what they can't do, believe me, they can. I don't know what else I can tell you. Most likely means I don't want to tell you more. And it's up to you to let me know what you expect from me. It means I am not going to volunteer what I could say right now. This is a form, a way of feeling out the person that's interviewing you. What do you have? What else do you have? Are you satisfied with my lack of additional information? They want to know, am I doing okay? It is similar to having this look that Daniel gave the interviewer right after he started his fake crying. Because at this particular moment, he wasn't sure if what he is doing is credible. And the need for that expresses itself in several different ways.
Stan, when you went home, tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to the day. Yeah, on the way.
Oh God, let me get my coffee ready, man, because I'm gonna talk a lot. You better believe it. Is everybody settled in? Is everybody okay? Are you ready to allow your own mind? Let you see, I would love to say a prayer or do some meditation thing right now, but nah. Because now you're gonna go back to the basics. And again, if you watch a lot of different channels and whatever YouTube presents you with, well, as I said before, if your mind is polluted, then try not to do what you want. Here we go. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way.
Home. On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom.
We were just sitting there talking, me and Mom. Just. Okay, now she is using minimization tactics. And he's trying to convince you that nothing special took place. Nothing out of the ordinary. Whatever she's about to say is going to be normalizing something that was anything but normal.
Oh, everything pretty much, trees.
Everything, pretty much. Everything, right?
Always rock. Whatever Mom likes, pretty much what we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep.
And I was like, well, first of all, I was like, no, tell me exactly what you were saying. What is Summer doing? Well, is there a reason you're asking what Summer was doing? A reason that you don't want to tell us? Is there a need for concern on your part? What Summer is doing right now? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. Again, this is not reliable because of the part like. I know people use it all of the time, and vagueness is a part of our everyday life that we're dealing with. People like to be vague. People like to have deniability. People are not always telling you the truth. People are afraid to be accurate about things. But in this particular case, I see the like twice. That she doesn't necessarily want to tell us directly what she said and what her mother replied with. She's like, oh, she fell asleep. So the surprise effect gets entered. Oh, well, let's see.
I was like, oh, how's she?
And again, I was like, there are too many likes here. Okay, you can use like if you say, well, I'm like, when you don't remember exactly what you said, and there is a need to be as accurate as possible, but you don't remember something, when you had an altercation with somebody, or, you want to minimize who started something. You want to minimize what you said. If you're in court and they say, how did the argument begin? Yeah, I was like, I don't like what you just said, man. Because in reality, you used much more descriptive language, much more aggressive. So there is a need to minimize, and the like, or basically, or terms like that are oftentimes used to mask a very direct statements, a very direct concern, something really, really significant. You downplay it, you normalize. This is what I believe the reason is why she is using that term again and again and again. I was like, oh, and there's a surprise again. Oh, what's she, how, okay?
She's sleeping, and when I look back,
What's she, how is she sleeping? I was like, how is she sleeping? Listen to this again, guys. This is a very sensitive part here.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
Well, help.
Yep. You see it, guys? Don't take my word for it. Allow yourself to truly understand it or ask questions about it. Nothing that comes your way should be accepted as the word of God unless you yourself can relate. Think about your own real life experiences. Think about the times when you use certain types of language. Have you ever had an issue at work where somebody did something, where maybe a coworker that you're friends with did something that messed things up, and they ask you questions and you say, I don't know what else I can tell you? Think about that. Make sure that with plaids you can relate to everything that you accept as truth.
Me understand when you went home. Tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day.
When I'm on my way home, she says on my way home, and she's in thinking mode. Look at her. She's not relaxed at all. Look at her before. Her blood runs like molasses. She's like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But all of a sudden, look at how alert she is. She is thinking about what to say, and more than anything, what not to say is right in front of her. There is an invisible, it's almost like an invisible screen is in front of her. Where it's sort of like in her mind, there's playing the experiential memory that she doesn't want to access and reveal or expose. And again, she is not the smartest woman in the world, right? So it's taking her some time. So when she's actually thinking, it shows. Tell me about those dynamics that day. She said, oh, that on the way home, that's her question. She's like, uh-oh. Okay, let's go there. But let's think about how we're going to do this.
Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well,
He said, yep, on the way home. She repeats it, on the way home. Well, and again, well, very common, right? You have to, however, add it all up to create the right angle and objectively see it for what it is when you compare it to somebody's baseline. So all the like, well, combined, she is buying herself some time. He already indicated, let me listen to this again, guys. I don't care how long this takes. This is what every time I look around, I see her face, because this is where it happened, Candace. This is exactly where it happened. and you missed, you were busy talking with your mom while Summer was in distress. And it makes no sense because you cannot see any rocks right now. But again, I would love, you see, this is the problem here. I can tell you what the language indicates, but what I cannot do is tell the TBI what to do. Because if I was actually on the case, I would tell the investigators, you need to drop by Hunter's house right now. And it doesn't matter what you're, if you have warrants or whatever, or I'm sorry, if you have an order, a court order, or what you have. I would go by Hunter's house and say, Hunter, would you mind? You don't have to do it, but would you mind coming with me and take me back to the place at the waterhole where you and Summer were swimming and where she was in distress? I don't have to take an underwater camera and look everywhere like that guy did. And I forwarded a little bit, and I don't think that he went through all of the areas. But he said something. She was a little bit out there. She went down, if I'm correct about this, if I remember it correctly, she was out there, Summer. She went back out there. She went out there, and I want to know the exact spot, guys. So we need to always remember what we want to know, what we need to know, and what we don't know for sure. But I am certain that if Hunter truthfully stated, let's go, and he took you exactly to the spot where he remembered Summer being, you would likely find something. So in a way, she's thinking, of course, about what she witnessed or what she saw, and probably how she failed to take any actions because she was busy talking with Mom about everything and nothing. And I can guarantee you 99.999% of their conversations were, to use the term insignificant would be an understatement. So she's probably realizing that, I was so busy with unimportant things that I didn't realize, and people blame themselves. Even if you may say, well, sometimes things happen. You cannot watch your children 24/7. Things can take place all the time. It's always possible, guys, no matter how good of a parent you are, but it's also the case that when somebody has just this habit of really paying no attention, things are more likely to happen. So all of this is now playing in her mind, playing through her mind.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
Yeah. You know exactly what you could tell him, and that is the truth. But again, this is almost like answering a question with a question. And in this case, the real question would be, what do you know? What do you suspect?
Well, help me understand when you went home. Tell me about those dynamics.
Listen to this. He said, when you went home. He said, when you went home. He was very accurate about what he is referring to when you went home. And listen to her.
Dynamics that day. Take me back to that day.
When I went home, question. If somebody repeats your question or answers your question with a question, be on very high alert, people, at all times. She's asking, when I went home, are you sure you want to know about this? Really? He's saying, take me back to that day.
Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well.
On the way home, think hard, Candace.
We were just sitting there talking, me and Mom.
We were just sitting there talking, me and Mom. What about summer? Oh,
About everything, pretty much. Trees, flowers, rocks. Whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And
how is she sleeping? Why is it so important how she is sleeping? And was Hunter with you?
I look back because I'm driving.
I forgot. Is she talking now? I don't want to go back about after she dropped Hunter off or not. And when I look back, I guess Hunter would have been dropped off already. But let's keep going. When I look back, now it's present tense. That's script, in my opinion. Because I'm driving and
I look back like this, she had her arms up like this.
And look how she's looking at him for approval here. Why is this important that she had her arms up like this? What is so important about this? I believe she's trying to convince him of something that I don't believe had taken place. That would indicate that Summer was alive and well.
Her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch that moment.
Okay.
Okay, now look at how she's looking at him.
It was just things I do.
Right.
And I was like, here, Mom, hurry.
It was just things I do. Okay, and I was like, here, Mom.
Take that picture. And then she accidentally hit the video record.
Okay.
Instead of the picture part.
Okay.
I would love to see that video.
So like, did you catch it? She like, hell no, I accidentally hit the video part.
That's what you get for handing Grandma the camera.
Yeah, well, I was driving though.
Okay.
And I was like, did she put her arm back on? She's like, yeah.
I was like, did you put her arms back down? She's like, yeah. I was like, dang.
And then she got a picture of her, but by that time her arm was down. But her arm was up most of the time like this.
Right. Well, maybe at one point it was. But why is it so important to you?
Right.
And we were like 2 minutes from the house when she took her arm down.
Okay.
And then when we got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car. We went and grabbed the boys from the house to come help us.
So let me see this again. And again, I want to tell you, this is not me being 100% about it. But the first thing that I thought was, something is really wrong with this image. And it seems staged to me. It almost seems like, remember these pictures that they had in the late 1800s and early 1900s where when some family member passed away, they still took a photo with that person and made that person sit up. And it's really eerie. If you haven't seen it, don't do that to yourself. Just look at the comments here in the chat where somebody describes what it was. I forgot the term for it. It's very macabre. And they did that back then. You know, even if grandma passed away, or even if a child died, there are many, many images out there still available of children who have passed away. And this is a possibility to me, by people. This is a possibility, and I will explore this possibility. I will continue to do that as long as the sensitivities guide me towards it. And I have found out a few things about whether or not pigs can eat human bones. The answer is absolutely. Especially when they're the bones of children. they have to crack them and then they can easily consume them. Some human bones are bigger than others. If you're talking about a grown man in his prime, and they may be around the spine for a while, and the pigs will keep trying to crack them to get to the meat that's inside of them. Sorry, but this is the, let's talk about animal bones, okay? Let's say an animal, a dead deer or something, is put into a pigsty. Some of the bones they will not be able to crack, but they will keep at it and usually, eventually, be able to do so. Yeah. So I wanted to clarify this because I'm getting different types of things sent my way. And people who are deceased, tend to have their mouths open. But what I was getting to also is that picture I saw of a dead lady in a hospital bed. Her mouth was closed. So I don't know if they closed the mouth for her before they took a picture, but I need to consider the possibility that this image was staged. And it seems to me that she has zero control over her body, and this belt may have been used to keep her from falling over. So I have to look at these types of possibilities now. Because to Candace, this is a very, very sensitive area right here. And I'm speaking very slow. And I invite all of you to, speak your own mind. Let's say it like that. Not tell me what other people think, but what actually you think. And that involves, some sort of commitment to what you yourself consider possible. Not what anybody else thinks, but what comes to your own mind. And why? But that was the first thing that I thought when I saw this image. And now that people talk about Fred Hill and Ziggy, by the way, I tried to watch Ziggy, I couldn't. It was impossible for me to pay attention to Ziggy. That kind of waffling and that kind of, no, dude, I'm not gonna do this to myself. I'm not going, because when people have something, they get straight to it. They don't dance around it. And I don't care if they've been on a channel that I like. Makes no difference to me. Let's see what I missed. Oh, Candace's mother, right? Let's jump there. And I have only watched 20 seconds of it. And I hadn't watched it before. Strangely. You know why? Because, well, let me show you. Candace's mother. Tell me what you noticed.
Candace and I got up that morning. She came out and took me into the ER because my leg was messing up on me. And we were afraid something was wrong with my knee. I have a knee replacement. And she was worried that there was something wrong with it. And she took me into the hospital. And I ended up getting a shot for it to get rid of the pain. And they prescribed me medication to take to get the swelling down out of my knee and around my knee because it was inflamed. And then we waited around for my prescription. Summer went swimming that day. at the horse stables, I believe it was.
Yeah, Summer went swimming that day at the horse pond, right? Horse stables, she said. Okay. And
And then we come back in, I went in my camper and
we come back, and that's present tense. Then we come back. She's moving to past tense. I went to my camper. I believe that. Here we come back. Okay. I think you're skipping something here.
after we brought my groceries in for me, and the boys helped with that.
So the boys left and went to help her bring her groceries in. Remember that part, because when you listen to Candace speaking, she first introduced the boys, I believe. Maybe I missed something here, but I remember that she first introduced the boys sitting in front of the TV and sleeping, and her supposedly telling them, keep an eye on Summer. Do you think she actually told them to keep an eye on Summer? She didn't keep an eye on Summer at the swimming, at the water hole. I don't think she ever kept an eye on her, really. Did you keep an eye on her at night or when she took a shower? And I don't want to go so much into this particular area right now, these accusations related to Dawn. But this is the same like Malaya, who's trying to convince you that Jack and Lilly never played without one of them being out there with them. This is a woman whose priorities were anything but the children. She more likely preferred to talk with her mother about anything and everything. Completely unimportant garbage. But now, okay, the boys are out there. They're bringing the groceries in for her, and the boys helped with that, yes.
And of course, Summer.
And of course, Summer. Yeah, you forgot Summer, huh? I wonder what these boys are going to tell us one day about this day. Of course, Summer. It is not very far from saying, or obviously. Like Katie Proudfoot, I went to sleep at midnight, obviously, except you didn't. It's almost like reverse gaslighting. It's almost like saying, well, of course, you better accept this as truth. Almost forgot about this, right, Grandis? You almost forgot about Summer being there as well and doing it as well. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that Summer helped carrying the groceries into the house?
I laid down and went.
She's thinking a very long time here. Very long. I laid down and went to sleep, and I got up and I was sitting. So now the alibi of sleep kicks in. Very soon you went to sleep. But what about planting flowers with Summer and Candace? What about all that? Why are you skipping over this one? Am I missing something here, guys? Please feel free to let me know if I missed something, because I am very selective with what I watch. And there are times that I miss something, but at the same time, I'm also not getting sidetracked, and don't waste my time, on things that are not that important. But aren't you skipping something here? Something that was very important to Candace. 30 or 40 minutes of planting flowers. Am I wrong here? So when did you mean you laid down immediately after the groceries were in the house? Really? That's interesting, right? I went to sleep and I got up and I was sitting.
I got up and I was sitting in my doorway.
I was sitting in my doorway and listen to this.
And we come out. And
We come out. I was sitting in my doorway and we come out. We come out. Who's we?
And Candace asked me what I was doing. I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses.
Okay, now, first you laid down, right? Got it.
Into bigger pots. And we did that. And then Summer come in and had a piece of pepper, which is her favorite.
Summer come in, present tense.
Did that. And then Summer come in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite. And
That's not significant either.
then she went in. She said, Mama, I want to go play with the boys. Candy walked her back to the house. And
okay, you want to play with the boys, but then Candy walked her back to the house.
she asked the boys to keep an eye on her.
How do you know that? Did she say it so loud that you heard it? And why is it so important? Why is it so important to portray everything as a very caring home where you're worried about your child on her own property? Keep an eye on her for what? You have so many dogs. Are you trying to sell us on an abduction fabrication here? Because this is what it sounds like to me. I am not negligent. I told the boys keep an eye on her. But Summer is the one. It's almost like victim blaming. Summer decided to go downstairs by herself. Meaning you did everything you could have to keep an eye on her. Nothing would have been your fault. You instructed the boys, and I guess they were half sleeping, half watching TV. And because Summer made the decision to walk downstairs, she put herself into harm's way. And later I have to also find again where she talked about the door being locked or the door, on her. And that's the last time I seen. No, it's not. I don't believe that.
And that's the last time I seen her.
And look how she speeds it up. That's the last time I seen her. Look how slow she speaks. And now she is happy to wrap it up. She's thinking, this is the best that I can do right now. I did the best that I could do, getting through the statement, and now thank goodness I'm done with it.
Tell me when you first realized that Summer was missing, what was going through your mind and what was it like here?
Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Watch the chat. So right now, I'm very curious. What do you guys think? And there is no wrong answer, because I respect what you think. I don't respect when people repeat other people's opinions. But what I always respect are original thoughts. And the thoughts can be wrong. They can be completely wrong. But it's a win-win situation, meaning if you're right, others can learn from you. And if you're wrong, you can learn from others. The only thing that's important to me are the intentions, to figure out what happened, no matter what it may be. Not trying to defend a theory, not trying to promote a narrative, but what do you really think? Is Summer alive in this picture or not? Just a yes or no. And there are no wrong answers here, people. I'm just very, very curious. Is Summer alive or not? Yes for alive and no for no longer alive. I've told you what I think, and I allow myself to go there. And I've listened to the yes and no, the pro and against. I've listened to it. But I see a strong possibility of this being staged as proof of life. There are too many avoidances here, people. Far too many. See, I have said, I don't think so. Am I 100% on it? Yes and no. There's something that I've sensed or feel that, of course, isn't to me, it is where my experience and my, but I want to know. And feel free to tell me why yes or why no. And if you're on replay crew, make sure that you open the chat replay as well. Because some of the best things about my lives are the comments in chat, where people are able to hear themselves think, where I make sure that the settings are done in a way that why do you think she is alive or not alive? The pillow isn't there, right? Where's the pillow? Didn't she say something about a pillow? And this is not a headrest, I think, because it's interrupted here. No, it's part of the jacket. It's like a hoodie or something, I think. This part is like it's like a hoodie. But something about this picture will never seem right to me. And back then, when I first saw it, I only posted a little bit on Twitter here and there, guys. And now I'm so happy that I can revisit this. I don't think she is alive anymore. She said she had her arms up at one point. Really? Why is it so important? Are you trying to give us an excuse for why you felt the need to take a picture of her sleeping? Are you trying to normalize something that you know wasn't normal, with the intent to show people that she was supposedly okay? This is the last picture of her. And just the way that the last person to have seen somebody alive, a missing person, the same way I pay close attention to the last available pictures. And I allow myself to see anything that sticks out to me. I don't look for it, but I let it come to me. And next to the cold milk cartons, where's the pillow? Didn't she say there was a pillow that she put under her? Where is it? She's always trying to make herself look like a good mother. What else sticks out to you here? It's kind of intrusive to do this, but you know what? Some of you have noted, okay, I need a better resolution here. If the lips are discolored or I'll be back with Grandis in a minute, people. I just want to hear what you guys have to say. And again, I saw that picture of a lady dead in a hospital bed. Her mouth was closed as well. And we don't have any background, of course. We don't see the windows. We don't see the location. She has a jacket on. It was in the 90s. I believe that Summer was wobbly when she walked back to the car. And yes, you may also make the argument that she passed away by the waterhole. That's a possibility too. I consider that. Because Hunter cannot seem to be able to tell you if she was awake or asleep when he was dropped off. What was all this? Yay, there's Summer. Hey, Summer. Hey, da, like my little sister, blah, blah, blah. So you're not going to tell your little sister goodbye? And notice, oh, never mind, she's asleep. I'm not going to wake her up. You thought she was awake? What made you think she was awake? You know why? Because a script doesn't line up. Remember when Daniel and Malaya gotten both back to the script? Malaya never left it. But Daniel, despite of all the crap that Janie said that contradicted the script, she went off script completely. She didn't agree with Darren. I don't, you know, she wants her own script. Because Janie Mackenzie is always right. So going along with somebody else's script, she figured, you know what? That claim that somebody said, shh. She realized, that makes no sense. I'm not going to go along with that. Belinda made it up. Belinda and Darren, you know. Daniel realized he made a mistake going off script and realized that the only script for him to stick with is the one that him and Malaya had agreed on. And Malaya had her own way of reminding him, you make yourself look guilty. You see, while Daniel's messages were designed partially to reach out to Malaya, hers were designed to get him back to the basics. Remember the script, Daniel. Remember how we agreed on it. Remember how good it was. So when Hunter first said she was awake, and then later, I think, what did I miss, Julia? Was it, did Candace say she was not awake? Feel free to send this to me. I believe he went back to script. Oh, there was a part 1 to this interview, right? I hadn't seen that yet. Did I watch part 2?
Grab Agoda's hot deals on.
Give me a second here. Hi, I'm Chris McDonough. I deal with ministers and serial killers. Yeah, welcome to the interview room.
I couldn't even tell you the honest of your time is. I don't keep track.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw this, right, Julia? A lot of these detectives try to, I think they watched too many Humphrey Bogart movies back in the days. Where was I? Let's keep it positive. It's the script, people. It's the script. If anybody has it, you can send it to me. Where Candace actually, Hunter doesn't remember if there is a possibility that maybe she had to be carried into the car. I consider that. So let's go back to Grandis. And let's pay close attention.
To be blunt, it was hell.
Okay.
My honor, and that's the last time I seen her.
That was the last time I seen her. Very quickly, she wants to convince you.
Tell me when you first realized that someone was missing, what was going through your mind, and what was it like here?
To be blunt, it was hell.
I think she's remembering accepting the fact that Summer no longer is with us.
I mean, and I apologize, I'm blunt.
Why you need to apologize? Your granddaughter is missing, but why is it hell? Why accepting something that she's missing? What about focusing on the search and the positive possibility that your granddaughter is out there somewhere and how happy you will be once you find her? That in itself already expresses defeat, a situation that you can no longer change. And you would not feel the need to express, to say, I apologize for using the term hell when your granddaughter is missing. There is too much that doesn't add up here, people. Far too much. And remember, she left the property. How long had she lived there? And all of a sudden she left the property? Rather than being there, hoping for her granddaughter to return? Now, she's not the biological mother. It's different from Malaya, of course. But still, would you say it was hell and then leave? Or would you want to stay and help find your granddaughter, even though you're not physically that capable and have a bad knee and all of that, but also remember Patty, Malaya's grandmother, she did not want to leave that trailer. She wanted to stay where her great-grandchildren wound up missing from.
As everybody knows, I have a missing daughter. She's been gone for 12 years.
Yeah, her daughter went missing 12 years ago. Candace's sister. And I wonder what happened with that. Don and Candace were already together, right? Were they together, Don and Candace, 12 years ago? I mean, 12 years before this interview, which would now be 16 years ago. I don't pay attention to everything. But here, I'm using this opportunity to get the facts straight. With the live chat and everything. If so, maybe Don should be asked about the sister. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? I think we need to revisit that also, even if it isn't connected. Even if this is completely separate. And I'm now going to look at the chat, everybody. Because first I had to get things going in terms of what my thoughts have been about this. I want to know more. I want to see some statements. Maybe from Candace, maybe from Don. And again, if they hadn't been together at the time, then maybe they haven't been. I don't know. Maybe they were not. But then I would like to have Candace's statements. What am I looking at here? Let me change some settings. She skipped the drive home, yes? She sure did. She didn't say anything about the drive home, people. She doesn't want to go there. I don't know when Candace and Dawn got together, people. I will look at it later.
And all I could say is, oh God, not again. And I couldn't do nothing but cry.
You couldn't do nothing but cry when? How about I went to help search? This sounds to me more like accepting something final. Because normally, if your child is missing and you have no idea what happened, your adrenaline is high and you want to search. Patty, Malea's grandmother, was at that trailer and didn't want to leave. Belinda didn't want to leave until she realized that Malea left. I think Hunter is definitely deceptive when it comes to whether or not Summer was awake or asleep when he was dropped off. And that indicates to me that there is a very strong sensitivity, people. I believe Hunter knows a lot more. Here we go.
And we yelled for her, and we yelled for her, and yelled for her.
Right.
And we could not find her. Candy was in hysterics.
Right. And she's thinking very hard. You notice how sometimes she speeds up the speech and other times she's very slow and has to think. And that is not common if you have a very significant moment take place in your life that is very traumatic, very impactful. You wouldn't have to think for a long time if there's nothing to hide. You wouldn't have to think too long. And you would tell us what you did. But she doesn't want to tell us what she did. She's telling us what Candace was doing and that Candace was in hysterics. Well, describe it for me. This is an interpretation, right? Tell me what Candace was doing. This can also be avoidance of detail. It's much easier to say she was hysterical or in hysterics than saying she was running around, screaming, running through the forest, looking everywhere or looking at different places. It's much easier to go straight into interpretation, people. Case closed then. How about if anybody has my granddaughter, please let her go? How about that? Isn't that what you would say? Wouldn't that make a lot more sense?
We never did find her. She called 911.
We never did find her. She called 911. So you've given up? Why? Never. Did you search? Or do you know what happened? And did you know what happened? She called 911 and she called?
And she called Donnie and...
No, first she called Donnie and then she called 911, right? That's what Candace told us. She called Don first. Then she called 911. And she's reversing that. She did her part. That's what this can indicate. She did what she had to do.
We sent the boys down over the hill, and I stood in front of their, over by the edge there and watched them. And was praying to God every minute that nobody would take them.
That nobody would take them? Did you hear this? Okay.
And was praying to God every minute that nobody would take them. And
How about so your concern is very, now the boys, okay, I understand. If you think there's a predator around and maybe, okay, that would make sense. But still, you were watching and there were dogs all over your property. Okay, let's finish this and then I'm done.
There was no sign of her.
Do you believe that someone took Summer, or do you believe that she wandered off? What
Good question.
do you believe happened?
I believe somebody took her. I know people say it doesn't happen, but it does happen.
Now she needs to explain the likelihood. Now she's trying to convince you of what she thinks.
Off, what do you believe happened?
I believe somebody took her.
That was very fast. But nobody would have been able to get up there on the property. And Summer didn't have a habit of walking off. Remember, the shoes were there, right? What did she have on in the car? Let's see this again. You cannot see if she had shoes on or not. That would be interesting to know too. I believe somebody took her. And now, watch this.
I know people say
Look at this little Chris Proudfoot type of laugh. I know people say it doesn't happen. Why do you worry about that?
it doesn't happen, but it does happen.
Why do you worry about what people are saying? And when are you going to express concern for what Summer is going through right now? If you believe somebody took her, then there's a good chance somebody would have her and hold her against her will. Are you going to reach out to the potential abductors? Are you going to say anything? You're trying to convince us of a possibility and you're trying too hard. And in my opinion, it's because you know she was not abducted.
It happens in small towns, it happens in big towns.
Why are you trying so hard to convince us of that? And if you are so convinced, again, you're talking about it was pure hell. Pure hell, that would be when you accept that she had passed away. It wouldn't be pure hell, or you wouldn't express it like that if you're still in the process of trying to find her. You have given up on finding her from the very beginning. It happens in big towns, it happens in the...
It happens in the country. And I believe somebody took her.
Sorry, guys. That was from a Facebook video. And sure enough, it moved straight into something else. that I didn't want to see. And now let me go look for the other things that okay, so I missed I okay. I'm reading your chat right now, and you know, let's see. I forgot if this is the right timestamp here. I hope it is.
The call to get her phone turned on.
What phone is she using?
She's using her phone.
Okay, but it's
No, her phone's not turned off. I was saying, like, it's not turned all the way off. Like, there's, like, no minutes to it.
got it. So she's got one of the like burner phones,
No,
load
she has a
minutes to
straight
it.
talk. She has a straight talk phone. She had to
Got it.
call straight talk to put money in it.
Got it.
So she could have minutes for the rest
A
of
lot of senior citizens use those.
Yeah.
Do you think I need one?
What, straight talk phone?
Don't answer that, huh?
No, shut up.
Our grandma does, though.
Oh,
Free phone.
there you go. There you go.
I mean, it's still a government phone.
There you go. Okay, straight up. So she's in the car. You're with Candace. Summer's in the water. Walk me through that. What do you see happening?
See it happening? I just see her swimming like usual.
How far out is she?
Okay, so you got that TikTok on your phone or something? Because I want to show them precisely
Okay.
the exact how far she goes.
Okay. And who took this TikTok?
Her mother.
Candace.
I mean, you might see me throw up again.
Okay,
Did
one
you
moment,
take a
guys. One moment. There's something that I skipped here. 29 minutes. Okay. I'm looking through my old messages to figure out where exactly I want to. Okay.
But, and he went with him for a while. Me and Leslie went to the ball field. I left my phone in her car, in her van, because my phone was dead. So we only had hers. We were on the ball field, and we're actually on the opposite side of the ball field. We were watching her grandson practice, because he was playing for the Packers at that time. And her phone rang. Rose Hunter wanted to speak to me. She came in.
Okay, 120, right? Was it 120 last time?
But then when I turned my eye that way, I just seen that.
Oh no. Was it a whole different one? Wait a minute, the water hose one. That's the one that I wanted, people. Oh yeah, because that's where I left off last time. Right? It was like at 29 minutes or something like that. Gee, man, where was I?
Okay.
And next thing I know, I said, Mom, I'm going back over with the kids, chill and hang out, whatever. And freaking asked her, "Bud, where'd your sister go? She was just right here with you." "Oh, she wanted to go play with her toys downstairs, Mom." I said, "I think not. That's where our room is. That's where her toys are."
Okay.
And after about a second, I didn't hear nothing down there. I was like, "You sure she went downstairs?" They're like, "Yeah, Mom, she went downstairs."
Okay.
And my boys do not lie to me. Going around because my stairs, my husband calls it a bar, but it's not really a bar. I call it a mess. It's
I believe you.
in nowhere. And I started tracing
She's gone into nowhere. I agree with you.
the property, going everywhere I could. I sent my boys down through well, we live on a hill, so it was down by the creek. I sent them all down through there looking and everything. They still didn't find her. And they said no. So I ran over. I freaked out. I called Don because that's what I do automatically. I freak out, you know.
You called Don.
I called Don. I said, "I cannot find Summer. Come home now." He's like, "Call the cops." So I threw my phone down on the back of his pickup, ran over to my mom, picked up her phone because the only one that gets out there is AT&T.
Okay.
So I picked up her phone. I dialed her one. I said, "I cannot find my daughter." And they sent people out, and I wasn't just going to stand there and wait for them to send people out.
Right.
I jumped in my mom's truck, and I went down the driveway as fast as I could. I went everywhere I could possibly think, every road, which way. I didn't see no cars. I didn't see nobody at all. And I was like flipping out. I was a hot mess, as you call it.
Okay.
It makes no sense. The only thing that can come to my mind is that somebody snuck up there in that yard and took my baby girl.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
From your perspective.
What are the odds of that? Let's listen to that. Shall we?
It happens all the time, all the way around the world.
That's not the question, you idiot. What are the odds that somebody came on your property and took your baby girl? What are the odds? She said it happens all the time, all the way around the world. What the hell are you talking about here? He's asking you, what do you think happened? This is the good part I was going to get to the last time, people. So let's make very, very sure that we pay exact attention to what she's actually saying. The first thing she's doing is trying to convince him. She's being defensive. Why don't you believe me? It happens all the time all the way around the world. He's asking you, what are the odds?
I'm not questioning that it happens. I'm just asking you from your...
Exactly. I'm not questioning that it happens. Very good reply, by the way. It happens. So he acknowledges it happens all around the world. I'm not questioning that, but I'm just asking you.
Perspective in your property, living up there as long as you have, Candace, right? What are the odds that happened? Take a guess.
50-50.
Okay.
50-50. The odds that somebody came up there are 50-50. And you're trying to convince us with certainty that happened.
Okay. What would be the 50% that it didn't happen? What are the other possibilities?
That's a very good question. You're only 50% sure, which of course you're not, that somebody came up there to take your daughter away. So he is not letting her get away with this kind of an answer. So now he wants to press her on where else is your mind going? What other possibilities are there? And let's hear what she says.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. Sure you do. You understand that the other possibilities will be very hard to imagine. What are the other possibilities? Because you told us she wouldn't run in the forest. She wouldn't just run away. You're only 50% sure, but you don't even think about other possibilities. your mind would be racing through any type of possibility. And until Summer is found, you would not rest. Even if the possibilities don't make any sense, even if they're very, very remote, guys, you would not stop thinking about what else could have happened. It would be impossible for you to do that and just sit there in defeat and say, well, that's the only thing I'm going to talk about.
Could she have walked away and fallen?
Knowing my daughter?
Yeah.
No.
So she couldn't have walked away. What else is there? You're only 50% sure. You can only commit to 50% because you know how ridiculous it is with all of your dogs and the property that somebody killed. So she didn't walk off. Well, aside from somebody taking her, what else would be the possibility? The only thing is that somebody from your house transported her away, and you give that 50% here. But you don't want to name anything other than her being abducted by a stranger or somebody walking up there.
Okay. What's in your heart today in terms of what gives you hope and what do you hold on to? I mean, you've been around the block a couple of weekends, okay? I mean, so have I. And I think what you're telling me here, I have no reason to disagree with you. You know what I mean? I mean, there's going to be a lot of he said, she said, and you know, and I know, no matter what,
In my heart, I believe. Now, this is just the way I feel.
I respect.
Okay. So she said, now this is just the way I feel. So she is unable to commit to what she's about to tell you because she knows it doesn't stand up to any scrutiny whatsoever, people. She knows that there is who was smiling on the beginning of her video. Hair. Yeah. If she really believed it, you see how certain she is so certain Summer didn't walk away. Let's listen to this because this is so crucial, people, and such a good question. Okay?
Said I went everywhere.
What are the odds of
Possible things, every road which way. I hadn't seen no cars, I didn't see nobody at all. And I was like flipping out. I was
like flipping out. You don't need to convince us of that. You don't need to tell that. Why do you feel the need? You're a mother. Of course you would flip out. You wouldn't feel the need to tell us that. She's trying to convince us, people. She's trying to portray herself in a way that an innocent mother or a not knowing mother would react. Again.
a hot mess, so you call it. Okay. It makes no sense. The only thing that can come to my mind is that somebody snuck up there in that yard and took my baby girl.
That's the only thing, right? But
what are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
From your perspective.
It happens all the time, all the way around the world.
Uh-oh. Again, yes. That's the only thing that can come to your mind, right? So why are you only 50% sure?
I'm not questioning that it happens. I'm just asking you from your perspective and your property living up there as long as you have, Candace, right? What are the odds that happened? Take a guess.
50-50.
Okay.
50-50. Not even 51-49. You're so convinced, but you cannot commit to more than 50%. People, You need to realize something here. This is highly contradictory, everything she's saying. Only 50-50.
What would be the 50% that it didn't happen? What are the other possibilities?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Real quick answer. She didn't walk away, so you don't want to even go there.
Could she have walked away and
Major avoidance.
fallen?
Knowing my daughter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay. What's in your heart today in terms of what did you hope and what do you hold on to? I mean, you've been around.
Exactly, Sun Cycle and Sandra, which it is a possibility, Malaya's words. Remember that. Hey, Tina, Rosebud, everybody. I'm doing this a little bit early today, but I didn't do one yesterday, so I wanted to get this out of the way before I continue with anything new. Give me a second, okay? I'll be right back. This is not too exciting to most people, by the way. But to me, it's the only thing that's interesting. What actually happened, people? And she knows. And if Hunter doesn't know, he at least has very strong suspicions. But you see, her looking out there into the water may open up to the possibility that I believe Summer at the very least was very wobbly when she walked back to the car. Maybe she had to even be carried to the car. I have to look for some language indicating it if that was the case.
On the block a couple of weekends, okay? I mean, so by, and you know, I think what you're telling me here,
He's now looking for linguistic commitment because 50-50 is not good enough. if the 50% makes no sense, and he interviewed Hunter's mother, Hunter's grandmother, and Hunter and said, what are the chances that somebody came up to the property and got her? I believed them when they said there is no way, because the moment somebody approaches the property, the dogs are already all over that person. There is no chance a stranger would have been able to walk up there. Even a non-stranger that the dogs are familiar with, the dogs would have alerted people. There is no way. And the other 50%, she cannot even allow herself to go there. You would think about any possibility on earth if that was you.
I have no reason to disagree. You know what I mean? I mean, there's going to be a lot of he said, she said, and you know, and I know, no matter what, okay, no matter what, you know.
In my heart, I believe.
In my heart, just like Janie.
Now this is just.
In my heart, I believe. Now this is just.
The way I feel.
I respect that. Totally respect that.
I feel that somebody has got her hid out somewhere,
okay,
and is keeping her away from us.
Help me.
Is keeping her away from us.
Understand why that's in your heart.
Okay, first off, I didn't know how many sex offenders lived around me that were.
Uh-oh. I didn't know how many S offenders lived around me. Listen to this. She doesn't say there are a lot of S offenders around us. She said, I didn't know how many S offenders lived around me. When did you find out? Can you see what she's doing here? When did you find out? You didn't know. You're not committing to anything here. You're only telling us you didn't know how many S offenders lived around you. But you feel the need to throw this in here because you want people's minds to go somewhere else.
Only 8 minutes from my property.
Okay.
Yeah, and?
I didn't know that.
Right.
Again, she says, I didn't know that. Yeah, because she's a good mother, right? So on the one hand, she wants you to go there in your mind and think that somebody came on the property, abducted her, but she also wants to be clear of any kind of accusations of neglect or responsibility for that matter. I didn't know that. That's why, and that's the only reason why I wasn't there to protect her. But what about an offender living on your property? You know what I mean? What about that?
And another, my daughter never goes out into the woods because we taught her there's dangerous snakes, there's bears, there's packs of dogs.
So again, the only 50% that you commit to is something that couldn't have happened. And the other 50% you don't want to name. To call this avoidance would be an understatement.
There's coyotes, there's everything magical out there in the woods that can hurt you.
Okay.
I've even taught my boys that. Okay. And I have never stressed that enough. I tell her that every day.
Right.
And she would never, ever go anywhere than that swing that's on that tree.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, tell me about that swing. Is that her favorite? I love those videos you put up showing her just having an absolute blast. That's it, blast. You know.
Is there more?
What about this call allegedly that Hunter says came in? Well, he said there was a call that Dawn made to you while you were in line at the prescription. Did that happen?
He called me and asked how everything was going.
Okay.
And how soon we were going to be home.
Okay. Hunter relates that he mentioned to you that Dawn had said something about somebody around the property. Is that true?
That is so.
Okay.
Sorry to say, but that's a bunch of bullshit.
Okay. All right.
So Hunter made that up?
So where is?
I don't need to get upset, but when something
you're
like that,
here's the good news. Okay, this is your daughter.
I know where my husband was.
Okay, but you have every reason. Don't apologize.
No, I'm just,
okay, don't
it makes
apologize.
me so mad that,
I mean, the fact that you're wearing mom patrol.
that somebody could stand there and lie.
Yeah, Sun Cycle. Hey, you're giving great comments here that I'm reading. Everything imaginable. Yeah, like dragons, drop bears, yeah, anything imaginable. Exactly. Why don't you do the imagining for me? That's what she's telling you. Please imagine something else. Imagine anything. Right? Let your mind get sidetracked. The only thing that you don't want us to look at is the possibility that Summer was removed by you or somebody that you invited to come onto the property. And that's exactly what I believe happened. I believe that it's done. Andy, yes. She is a horrible actress. That's an understatement.
People lie.
To law enforcement, everybody, it makes me so mad.
What's Hunter's benefit in lying? Maybe Hunter wanted to, who knows? What's his benefit? Tell me that. The reason that I would see for Hunter lying would be that you and him came up with a script. And maybe he wanted to take it a step further and make it sound like there was an ass offender around. But I believe him. Or you know what? Let me be very clear here. Let me be very clear, people. Why did Don call? Maybe Don was a jealous type. And maybe he had reason to be jealous because Hunter was around. He maybe suspected Hunter to be around her. You know, I believe that a husband can pick up on certain things. You know, maybe he noticed how excited she gets. Remember that video when she was asked about if there was a relationship between her and Hunter? How excited she gets. And maybe Dawn at one point recognized how excited she was around should I even say the 13 or 14-year-old shirtless Hunter? I mean, I have to let my mind go there, man. You know, I believe Dawn suspected something. And there's a reason. He didn't just call just to call, man. There was something that he probably wanted to know. But maybe somebody alerted him or told him there was an ass offender. I don't know. I don't know yet. Yeah, I believe she scripted him about a lot of things. The alcohol part came later. That came to her 2 days later. That she said, oh, I also gave him some alcohol, which I think happened on a regular basis, by the way. Nothing out of the ordinary for her. But it suddenly dawned on her that, just because it happens so many times doesn't make it less against the law. And this is my opinion only. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, of course. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, and so on and so on and so on. So who lied and why?
It just makes my blood boil.
Right. So she disappears.
She disappears. And what does Candace do? She looks out into the ocean. I mean, into the lake. And you know what? I believe that the spot she looks at is probably the one where Summer had the incident. That's what I believe. That's where she knows it happened.
I don't know what else to say.
What are the possibilities in your?
I don't know what else to say. What do you want to hear? Do you believe me? Do I need to do a better job? Are you going to leave me alone now?
Mind. I know what your heart's saying. Your heart's saying she's with somebody right now.
And at the same time, she's staring out there.
How would we know how to connect that dot? You and me.
Well, like, for instance,
Okay, I'm all ears, Candace. I'm all ears.
that Dobbs guy that was supposed to be camping across at my neighbor's house.
Right.
Right. And your dogs, your 8 dogs wouldn't do anything if he suddenly came on your property, right? She didn't walk away. He would have had to come to your property.
He was there at the same time, and then
Who cares?
Tony Hammonds, whoever the hell he is, he was down through there.
Who was there when you got home?
There was nobody there. There was my mom mentioned the van across at my neighbor's house, but I just figured she had company.
Okay.
I didn't know about that was a guy that was trying to move in there. I didn't know that at the time.
Okay.
I didn't know about this. Wait a minute.
My mom mentioned the blue van across at my neighbor's house, but I just figured she had company.
Okay.
I didn't know about that was a guy that was trying to move in there. I didn't know that at the time.
Okay.
And so I didn't think.
Neighbor's house.
No, I just figured it was neighbors. I had visitors.
Okay.
You know, I didn't think nothing about that. I gotta stop. I can't do the noise.
I got to stop. Why stop now when you're trying to figure out what happened to your child? Why stop?
I gotta have a cigarette. Sorry.
Good. Light it up.
I just don't.
Light it up,
no,
girl.
I don't want to breathe in.
No. Go blow it. Go. I'm not gonna. Don't worry about me. You should see me drive. I'm a mess when I drive.
Yeah, but she was against the cold milk cartons also.
I can't drive all night.
You got a lot going on, Ken.
So he's looking back at his wife, Chris McDonough, like, are you getting this? Good.
Dennis, I respect you. I'm sorry that you're having all this problem.
And boy, is he good talking to people like that, man. You know, I wouldn't fall for his tactic, but, you know, this is pretty much perfect for certain types of people to make him feel comfortable.
And no matter what we say, you or me, somebody's going to question
It
it.
doesn't matter what I say or do or try to prove to people. Somebody.
Why you want to prove anything to people? Why are you not looking for your daughter? And why are you in your house getting drunk with your husband talking about alibis? Who needs an alibi? Where's your daughter? Where's the search? Where are the efforts? Nothing. You say she's with somebody? Somebody's got her? Then she could be alive. And you're staring into the lake. That is the end. She is looking at the final moments of life as Summer knew it. That's reminiscing. That's saying goodbye over and over and over again. That's not saying hello to the possibilities. Help me find my daughter should be the message. I've looked everywhere. Don't worry about searching. That's what she's saying. I mean, she's supposed to tell people, keep on searching. I don't care what. Keep looking, please. Bring her back. But instead, she doesn't want to go there.
He's always gonna twist my stuff.
Right.
Now it's about her and online comments, right? Like Chris Proudfoot, like Daniel, worried about what people online are saying. Oh, about GSP, about Chris McDonough, his dentures whistled so much. Yeah, his speech, right? And yes, he wouldn't apologize. Buying him vape and a drink, absolutely. Oh yeah, I need to see this TikTok video, right? Of Summer being in the water before the incident. Someone's going to twist. And he's right there like a hound dog, trying to get anything from her. That's anything.
And for that,
He knows she's avoiding certain areas. And he may not know how to analyze it right now, but he knows he's getting something. And he knows there's more, but he doesn't pressure her. It's not one of those stupid interrogation tactics, you know what I mean? He wants her to go there.
that one woman to go on there that works with Allie, she don't know me and my kids.
Who cares?
She don't know what they do every day.
Find your daughter and that'll shut him up. Find your daughter. Why are you worried about what people say? Find your daughter and then everything will come to light that really happened, right? You should look at the possibility of finding your daughter not only in terms of that being the only thing that's on your mind, but that would clear everything up. But she knows that finding out what happened, would tell people or give people the information that will be very, very bad for her from her own perspective. What do you do every day? Janie McKenzie did the same thing on Facebook. You don't know me. People don't know me. People don't know me. People don't know me. And one person asked, well, how do we get to know you? If somebody makes an accusation and you say, you don't know me, that's not a denial of the accusation. Chris Proudfoot did the same thing. People have an opinion of who we are, but not who we really are. Well, I don't need to get to know you. What does that mean? If I get to know you, I'm going to like you and forget about the case? That's what it means many, many times. She means judging. But you wouldn't be worried about judging at this particular, at this moment.
That's my pleasure, dude. I tell you.
Are you sure your boys would tell you? Would tell him? Have the boys been interviewed, by the way? Does anybody know if the boys have been interviewed? I would love to read their statements, guys. Love to. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, guys. You just have to make her feel like you believe her, and she'll keep yapping.
I've seen a lot of your pictures. That speaks volumes. You know what I mean? That speaks a lot. That says a lot. Nobody's perfect, though, right?
I'm not perfect.
I'm not perfect by any means, shape, or thought.
Never have been perfect. Never meant to try to be perfect.
This is also a good way. Nobody's perfect, you know. It's often in terms of minimizing the guilt. The tactic is to minimize her feeling of guilt, of fear of judgment, and it works very often in terms of getting somebody to open up a little bit more. But, she's not going to fall all the way for it.
And me neither. I mean,
I am a person just like you.
Yep.
Like your wife.
That's right.
And when he says, I respect you, I respect that, he knows that she wants respect, and she knows she's not respected by, most of the people who talk about her online. I don't know if she pays attention to online, by the way. I think she just posts crap on Facebook and doesn't really, but she knows that people, the lifestyle she lived, people don't respect her as a mother or her husband as a father. So this is something that she wants to hear and longs to hear. Somebody telling her, I respect you. Because I don't think she's heard that a lot in her life. So he's sort of figuring out what it is that a person wants to hear or feels a need for.
That person out there on that jet ski.
That's right.
I'm no different than anybody else.
We all.
Yeah. Okay. But we don't want to know that. We want to know what happened that day.
We'll make mistakes. There's no question about that. No question about it.
I can't even enjoy life without my kids.
Help me understand what you mean by that.
Yeah, now she has a thought. And, well.
Like how these guys are out here having fun with their family and stuff. I can't even go in that water and pretend to even have fun because what's the point? She's not here to enjoy it with.
But she could be here if she's with somebody and you would be able to help find her, That she's telling us she's not coming back.
I lost a son.
Yeah, you're saying that.
I know that I know there's a depth.
His son has died in an accident. So now he's actually connecting with her on a level of a child passing away, which she claims she has no knowledge of.
Pain that nobody understands until you have been in that hole.
Pain and sorrow.
Okay? And
I've been in this hole twice now.
I've been in this hole twice now. Did you catch this? Did you catch this, guys? He's talking about somebody passing away and the pain that you feel. And she's been in this hole twice now. Are you telling us that you're relating to him in terms of somebody passing away, which would be A, your sister, and B, your daughter? You're not talking about a person disappearing and you trying to find that person. A person has been abducted and you're trying to find her. That's not what you're talking about here. That's not what Chris is referring to. Chris is referring to the pain you feel when a child passes away. And look at her being able to relate now. She's not relating to people who want to figure out what happened to Summer, but somebody accepting somebody's passing away. That she is in it. And that is a very reliable statement right now.
Help me understand that.
Well, once when my mom called me and said that they couldn't find my little sister, Rosie,
Okay.
when she disappeared. And that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, what do you know?
But my daughter, that's twice as worse.
Right.
You might as well just rip my chest out, throw it out there for the fish to eat, because it's worthless without her.
And just because she was a terrible mother doesn't mean that she doesn't mean what she's saying right now. I believe her. I do believe her.
I try to be strong for my boys.
So all the talk, by the way, about her being jealous of her daughter, nah, those are interpretations from Hunter's family. And I don't go too much by those. Perceptions can be very, very off.
I try to have hope.
Hope in what? Hope is defeat, giving your power to somebody else. But what are you doing? You're always defending yourself. That's your priority, not encouraging people to search for your daughter. You don't want that.
I feel like everybody is against me.
Everybody's against you, okay.
I feel like everybody is against me.
You feel like everybody's against you. But everybody's with your daughter. And that's where you should be. Your mind should be there, finding Summer. And everybody, doesn't matter what they say about you. They want to help. So help us help you.
Sorry. You wanna rest for a minute? You wanna take a break for a second?
Yep. And you know what? This, again, she hadn't searched for her daughter at all. And she's emotional now because she knows what happened to her daughter, people. And especially here at this particular spot, this is where her heart stops. That's exactly us saying the same thing at the same time. It's a memorial. It's remembering her child, knowing that she will never come back. This is where it happened, people. This is the only place worn out worn out from all the mental gymnastics. Yeah. Oh my God. Twice as better, twice as worsened. Yeah, it's still grade 3. These emotions are real, guys. This is real. And you see, I don't see her as a heartless mother like Katie Proudfoot. I don't see her as an indifferent mother like Malaya Brooks Murray. I see her as so screwed up in so many different ways that she was a terrible mother. But it doesn't mean she doesn't love her kids. And so, to some extent, I always need to let you guys know that, and I said it about Daniel too. I wonder, how did he grow up? To what extent do they know they're doing wrong? They haven't had an example of how to properly parent. They only had the worst examples themselves. I'm not making excuses for anybody, but there are people to whom it comes easier to parent. But also, I have to tell you this. I respect people who break the cycle of abuse or the cycle of neglect or any cycle. It's very easy to say, well, this is how my parents were with me. I do the same thing. That's what Chris Proudfoot also said when he talked about beating Sebastian with the belt. I think it's very cowardly to do that and be like that. Because if you know how it felt as a child, for you to go through it, you should be extremely aware of how certain things impact your child. And usually, women, the mothers, women who were themselves as aid abused as children, are either overprotective or completely non-protective. There's rarely an in-between. And I think it has to do with choices that you make. You make a choice. And I actually believe when Daniel at one point said that he promised himself, oh, I haven't shown you this yet, right? Yeah, I will show you this later.
Yeah. Take your time. Nobody else is here. They're all gone.
Wait a minute, guys. I have to message someone. All right.
Everybody left.
Everybody left. Yeah.
You know, the world today is so.
Give me a second, guys. All right. Let's see what messages. Okay, let me play this.
Different than it used to be even 10 years ago because of, you know, people can get on, you know, this little device and say, you know, he's lying, she's lying, he's this, that, he, you know, and they do it about me too. You know, right? It's just so out of control almost.
I've never seen so much hate in my life.
I believe it.
Honestly.
I believe it. I believe it. Because I think everybody wants to help, but they don't know how to help. So when they hear indiscrepancies, okay, automatically that take, what is that? Oh man, don't get stung on me now. You'll be blaming me for a bee sting. But you know, they don't know how to help, or they want to help, and then of course there's one discrepancy on YouTube or, you know, wherever, and next thing you know it just gets crazy. I mean, I've had people say, oh, you know, you paid Hunter to talk to him. Seriously? Am I paying you? No.
I don't want your money.
And I wouldn't offer it. Okay.
I don't want nobody.
I'm not here for that.
My daughter.
I'm here for that reason. That's why I'm here. Okay. That is why I'm here. I'm not interfering with the.
She's trying to make sense of it all, people.
Investigators, I'm letting them do.
I'm not neither. I'm going to let them do their job.
Let them do their thing.
Do their job.
I let them do their job. Really?
Them do their thing.
That's all.
Okay. And you know, you came down here on your own to walk me through this.
Yes, sir.
I credit you for that.
I want to see Hunter here at this spot.
I respect you for that. Okay? And somebody's going to find something wrong with it, though.
Of course they will.
I'm giving you a heads up. Okay?
Oh, I already know this.
All right. I'm just telling you. Okay?
That's how the world is today.
It is. Now, the other side of that. Okay?
This is a permanent victim. This is what you call a permanent victim who has chosen at one point to be defeated in life, no matter what. No matter what. There's nothing proactive here. She's like, okay, I'm everybody's victim, and somehow I start to feel comfort in that when nobody expects anything of me and nobody watches me, and I can sort of accept misery.
if there is a suspicious person or somebody like that, that now you mentioned, or Don, I can't remember in the first interview, Donna had mentioned that on the news, he mentioned that he thought that she was abducted. How did that conclusion come so quickly?
Yeah, how did that conclusion come so quickly? Because that's what they agreed on, people. Let me see your comments. I don't know what else to do right now. I'm going to finish this and then I go back a little bit and then I don't know. Yeah, I do that all the time, people.
Help me understand that.
Because she never wanders.
Okay.
She always stays right there by the house, right there by the swing.
Okay.
She'll go to grandma's, but she'll be right back to the house.
Okay.
She'll never leave the house. She'll never go out of my sight.
Okay. So, what did you tell Dawn at work when you called him?
I just said she was missing. I can't find her. That's all I said.
Do you remember where he was that day? What job site he was on?
I believe he was in Jonesboro at the Meadows, I believe.
Okay, and he's hanging drywall?
No, he's finishing drywall.
Okay, so he's a finisher.
Yeah.
Okay, a taper.
Yep.
So that would be easy to verify.
Got it. And do you help him?
Well, I tried to help him yesterday, but I just...
Yesterday when I called you, is that where you were working?
Yeah,
you told me you were working.
Yep.
And you said you were going to go to church.
Yep.
And you went to church.
Yep,
Okay. So you did all the things you told me you were going to do.
Sure.
I got it. Okay, so that all lined up. Okay. And now, when you called him, what was his reaction?
The finisher, yeah. Don the finisher.
He's like, what, are you playing with me? I was like, no, I'm not playing. He's like, call 911. And that's what I did.
Okay.
That was all that was said.
Okay. What was Grandma doing?
Grandma was out hollering for as much as she could. She can't really get down on my driveway's horrible.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever been out there.
I went to your end. I didn't go up.
Right, it's horrible out there. The driveway's nuts. Every time it rains, all the gravel goes into the creek.
Okay. Is John home now?
No, he's actually at work.
Okay. Do you think you could show me where she was, where you were, and so we can? Yeah.
Yeah. No problem.
Is that?
Okay, so there's going to be a part 2 now? Wait. 1 minute, people. That's part 1. Got it. There's something I missed though, and I'll get back to this.
Seems like.
Stuck me with that guy, and then my husband got home. He's like, well, who's this guy, you know? And I'm like, Allie left him here, abandoned him here. I was like, he ain't got no place to go, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then my mom took him after my husband and him got into a little squirrel. My mom took him, I believe it was to North Carolina to some chick's house. And then that was the end of him. I never heard from him again.
And so your mom drove him up there.
Yeah, mom did.
That's right. She didn't talk about switching and the phone and this and that, but calling 911 right away, right? Yeah, I agree. Everybody.
Okay.
And I never heard from the guy again.
What part of North Carolina do you know?
I don't even know.
Okay. What kind of vehicle did he have, if any?
He didn't have no vehicle.
Okay. So your mom took him
My
out?
mom took him in her truck.
Got it. Straight up. Okay. Then, so you're down here, and all of a sudden now, Summer is doing what?
Someone's just playing in the water right here.
Okay.
I'm just standing around here. All the flowers that died that were there on that.
Oh, so there were a bunch of flowers here?
A bunch of flowers right here, yeah, on this little petal. I don't know what, I guess they've all died now, but.
And where's Grandma?
Mom's standing right here.
Okay.
And I'm over here close to the edge just because summer's in the water.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Sure.
my thing.
Okay.
And she's just playing, like a normal kid would play in the water. And then Uncle came from wherever he was and come down here and was standing here. I don't want to get all wet, but
Yeah.
he was like standing here and Summer was out a little bit further in apart from like me and your wife is.
Okay. Is that the TikTok video you took?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see how far they were apart.
Yeah, I can see it. Right.
And with him sitting there saying that he fell on a rock, there's no rock. Where do you see a rock?
Right. Yeah, the only rocks I saw were right over here,
Yeah,
and then up there.
Yeah, they're way over there, and I'm right here.
Okay. So this is where she is, though.
Yeah, this is where she is right here.
By the way, anybody know who Vincent Mallory is? Vincent Mallory connected with the Jack and Lilly case? Does anybody know? Because I just got a video of a guy talking about Jack and Lilly. I want to know who that is. Who is he, Ruby? Who is Vincent Mallory? I have no idea, but I'm going to... how is he connected to the case? Is he connected? Do you know? This may not be important. I mean, it's something that I just received. I don't know.
Hello, people. I want to tell you about Jack and Lilly.
I don't know.
I never met them. I don't know them. All I know, I was coming back from the graveyard up in Muscatawbit, and I almost ran over a girl. I drove her to my home because she didn't want to go nowhere. She said her boyfriend threw her out of her truck. So
I have no idea what the hell I'm listening to. Oh, really?
I knew that was a lie because she was not marked up. Anyway, I brought her home and I asked her if she wanted to go and call anybody. No. I put a coffee on. I smoked a couple of joints of weed. She didn't smoke weed. She hauled a needle.
I don't know. This is supposed to be important, but maybe it's not. Yeah, it's from the Vincent Mallory channel. I'm going to wait for you guys to tell me if it's important or not, because I haven't been looking into Jack and Lilly in the last few days. So let me know if it's something that's significant or not. Is he a neighbor of Daniel's?
Amloaf with a powder and a bottle of Deladas out of her.
Oh my God. Who the hell is this guy, man? What am I looking at here?
Pocket, and we were talking, and I told her, I said, you need to find God. You need to get away from this shit. I don't care what your boyfriend did to you.
I don't want to miss out on it if it's important. Or maybe it should be comic relief right now. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do right now, people. Give me one more second, man. Gee, man, I have no clue. What is it? More BS? The Friday morning?
You need to get out of it. And she was crying, and I felt so bad for her. So about an hour.
GSP said it's Durwood's brother Sherwood. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm looking at, man. I'm trying to get an idea here, man. You know, if it's important, I don't want to miss it, but I don't think it is. But you know what? Maybe this... Oh my God.
Later, I smoked dope while I was driving. Sure did. Anyway.
Jeez, man. Is that a comedy act? I mean, you're really... Wow.
While I was driving,
But since somebody said he lives on Lansdowne Station, yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah, I took her home up to the reserve. Anyway, to make long story short, I never seen her again. And November the 27th, 2022, we came home. Hold it. No, I got to back up.
You see, I'm pretty much done, but let's just use this to, you know, instead of playing Janie's Got a Rake right now, this sounds like I don't know what the hell I'm watching, man. But the insanity is...
That's the way it hit story. I brought her home. Oh yes, I'm ahead. I'm right. All right. She called me about 3 months later on my birthday, November the 27th, 1922, asked me can she come over and spend the night. I said yes. If you're drunk, you're high, whacked out. No. I'm not into drunken women and
Yeah, you're not into drunk women, except you talk about being high and whacked out yourself. I got you. You have certain values. Yeah, cool, man.
Whacked out women, okay?
Don't know who the hell you are, but yeah, that sounds credible. Not.
If I want a pig, I get my own. But anyway, let's make a long story short. I said, okay. She goes, well, I'm going to get my friend to drive me over. He lives down the road from you. And I said, don't put him in my fucking yard. I'll tell you right now, don't put nobody in my fucking yard. She said, well, can I meet you at Union Center? I said, sure can. So I got in the car. I smoked a couple of joints again. You know that. That's me. That's Miss Mallory.
Yeah.
And then I went down to the Union Hall. There was a black truck. There was a trailer. We got in I got in the car. She got in the truck.
Hey, guys, just a quick thing. If you send me something, seriously, don't assume that I know everything, okay? When it comes to the surrounding people in the lives of the ones who are of interest to me. Don't assume that I'm watching everything. If you send me something, just let me know what it's about or why it's interesting to me. I mean, yeah, he's explaining what's wrong with himself. Exactly. Absolutely. Yep. Okay, let's use him as a training tool and then we see what's going to happen.
She got in the truck. I passed her stuff because that's what she wanted. And she passed it to the guy. Now it's nighttime. I don't know. In the law, you can't prove that because it's darkness, kind of a little bit of light. And was it him exactly? I'm not 100% sure. But he, when I passed the stuff, she passed it to him. I went over and we shook hands. And I said, where are you from up here? He said, I live on the Lansdowne Station up the other side of the track. Oh, okay.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay, dude. So are you a strong witness or just like, I mean, what am I looking at?
I never thought nothing of it. And then She come here and she was straight. We both had a shower. She was clean.
Okay, what channel is that from? Let me see. King of... This is some high-level dipshittery right here. King of Whisper, Vincent Mallory, and he only has 2 videos. The other is a raccoon. Of a raccoon.
Let's put this old phone back in service.
This is his other video, his only other video.
You're daddy's little girl. Here's my Missy. Yeah, Missy with the babies. Yeah, see all the babies?
Okay, great. Fascinating. Let's go back to this shit. I don't know what he's waffling on about, man.
We made out. I'm a lucky guy. Fuck, I'm 49, she was 25. I was a lucky guy. Anyway, to make a long story short.
You see, this case is so derailed anyways. I might as well just, see what this guy has to say, man. Because whatever the right track is, it's not visible to most people. So I'm just figuring, why not?
That morning, she was cooking me breakfast. And, me smoking my dope. That's Vince Mallory.
Oh, God.
She was doing my dishes. I got lots of pictures of it. That's not a problem. So I'm not telling her. I am telling a story, a true one. And so I can talking to her because she knows my partner who passed away with cancer home in bed with me. She knew her, all right? Because that's how she got my number. There's more to this story.
I'm sure there is, dude, but I'm not sure if I want to hear it.
And I can say right now. Anyway, I told her about my partner who passed away, why she was leaving him, because he was diddling kids up in Muscatawbit. I have a laptop here that can't get it on, that she hid. And she hid it until she moved out of there. And I got the laptop, all right? She reported him to the police. She reported him to the school. She reported to a couple of neighbors, and no one did nothing about it, all right? I said, let it go, nothing you can do. So anyway.
I want to pull my hair out. Yeah, I recognize that language. The diddling.
She told me a story right after that because she knew what I was talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Up in Muscatawbit, but this ex-husband. She said, oh, I'm going to take these 2 little kids, she says, from this place, she said, because they're being physical and mental abuse. And she was straight when she told me. She wasn't high. She had no drugs with her. Because she gave it to him, I guess. I seen it. Well, it doesn't matter. But anyway, and I said, you can't do that. That's kidnapping.
Yeah, so even though it's probably garbage, you know what? I might as well be the one who, my goodness, man. This is the type of stuff that's going to be paid attention to, by the way.
That's kidnapping. I said, you need to report this and make sure they're doing it at the same time. Just don't report because they might not be home. You get my drift? You got to think like I do.
Yeah. My question is, when was the last time you hung out with Darren? That's my question right now. So the fact that people pay attention to it makes me figure, you know what? Everything is a circus. But let's see. I'm reading your comments. Rocking back and forth like he's been on, yeah. It's also a self-soothing thing. Katie Proudfoot did that a lot when she was lying. It's a self-soothing kind of thing. And sometimes people, when they talk crap, they sort of emphasize on themselves being high. It makes it easier to talk shit. Saying, well, I have deniability now. And sometimes people say it because they want to reveal something but not commit to it completely. So yeah, there's a lot that he didn't say the name. Oh yeah, let's see.
And that was it. I drove her back up to the reserve and a couple places. And I came home and I had talked to her again. I think I seen her again. Yeah, I did. Yeah, she called me, picked her up, and I went back and picked her up. She was all whacked the fuck out. The time I got home, I drove her back, and I wanted to throw her out of the fucking truck because she was a retard, but I didn't throw her in the truck. I took her back to Stewiacke, and I dropped her off at the service station up there. Now I remember that. Yeah, it came right back to me. My video camera came on, and then I never heard of her. And then I offer her a job here because I need help. Continuous care, VON won't come here because I told them that they messed up on the mass shooting at the 27 people. They all messed up. They didn't do the job. They could have saved 27 people. But anyway, make a long story short, I tried to call her and tell her. She wouldn't talk to me.
Listen to the voice change. You think he's really high or he is putting on an act? What do you think? Listen to the change, the voice change about how clear he all of a sudden gets. Yeah, did he meet with Janie? Is he one of Janie's friends? He's talking about Malaya? Okay. Really? He's talking about Malaya? Okay. Again, people, this seems like a real fabricated. Okay, I'm not going to tell
no. She said, I got to be careful texting you and stuff like that. So I knew what was going on, but I didn't exactly knew what. But I found out anyway. Okay, you'll see here soon. But that's the story. That's the story. Now, do I know Daniel? No. I met him for 1 second. No, 1 minute maybe. That's it. Shook hand. I told him.
Do I know Daniel? No, I met him for 1 second. Okay, well, that means you know him. 1 second, and then it becomes a minute. That's it. Sure.
That was it. Never knew him. I never knew he lived up there.
Never, huh? No. I never knew he lived up there, but you're the neighbor? Really? Really? Who are you friends with, boy? Darren or... What's Railroaded say? I just spit the... Oh, I'm tired, people.
The only one I really know is Brad Wong, and I don't know him. I know of him.
The only one I really know, listen to this fool. Listen to him. The only one I really know is...
Brad Wong, and I don't know him.
The only one I really know is Brad Wong, and I don't know him. You mean you really know him, and you don't know him? Why are you sending this to me? I'm waiting for the reply. It makes for some cheap entertainment, doesn't it? But again, I think he's putting on an act right here. I think he's putting on an act.
I know of him. I know a couple other guys that does crime, home invasion, and got away with it because they work with the RCMP. I knew this. That's why I didn't call the RCMP the first day I heard this. I was waiting for them to come to my house because I live down the road and I've been.
Yeah. You're not as high as you want us to think you are. You know what? That's why he keeps saying that he smoked ganja. Again and again and again. I believe he's trying to convince us that he's high, and I believe at this time he's very clear-minded. I'm looking in his eyes, I see how the voice changes, the speed of the sentences changes, and I believe that what he is saying, he is giving us fabrications right now. And his mask is, I'm just high and I'm just talking. And one of the reasons can be that at one point he may want to have deniability and be able to say, I was just high. Oh my God, I was so high and I don't know what I was talking about. No, that's not it, Stella. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it's about his conscience. I think that this guy is Darren Part 2. Like one of you said, it's Durwood's brother Sherwood. But you see, since this, I know this is the kind of stuff that will go make the rounds. I might as well examine it before you get introduced to it somewhere else. This guy is working hard on giving us the impression that he is high. Very, very. I look at his eyes and they are too focused for me. Way too focused. Someone put him up to this, Jonna said. I agree with you. Yep, exactly. Don't interpret it and say, you know, oh, he's trying to clean his conscience. No. That's an interpretation, guys. Listen to how he changes his language, how he goes from trying to sound incoherent, in my opinion, to being very focused when it comes to certain sentences. And again, 6 months ago, I would have told you, don't pay attention to people like that. I'm not going to give it the time of day. Now I know the circus is in full swing and it's not going to change. So I figure, why not be preemptive and say what I think before you get it somewhere else and other people interpret it in the wrong way.
It's Maori, and I don't give a fuck, and they know that, all right?
Yeah, look how focused he is. You're not high, and you're not drunk either. I don't believe it. You may have had a couple of beers, but not that much.
They know that. I don't give a fuck for them piece of shit. I know they're involved.
This sounds like Darren, man. Seriously. He's a bad actor. He's an overactor. But be ready. Be ready for the circus. Be ready for the circus to continue. When there is no news, they create news. Holy.
I knew this way before these kids went missing.
Holy baloney. You didn't know any fucking thing. You didn't know anything, period.
And these fucking creeps were involved with the RCMP.
Yeah.
I have evidence on the RCMP. New Brunswick, lawyers, doctors, prosecutors, judges, politicians. I know. Back from the 80s, Crime Stoppers came out. Entrapment came out.
I know, all right? There's only one way they're going to stop me, is kill me. And they ain't got no fucking balls, okay? When they beat at me in prison and all that, the guards beat at me and raped me. Do you
Oh my God, dude.
know what I'm saying to you guys?
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Moron. The guards violated you in that manner? Yeah, okay.
I got no help. And I'm sorry. And there's 3 little kids are missing. I should have been looked at. They should have came here and searched these property.
How many kids are missing?
I should have been looked at. They should have came here and searched these property.
3 little kids are missing? 3?
I told the detectives a month ago my land would never skirt behind me because this is the #1 hot spot for hot stuff for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, all right? I know, I caught them in my woods, all right? I got 7 fucking dogs. My dog don't eat them, I will. I'm very hungry. You understand me?
Okay, now your tears disappeared very quickly, right? The man, this is like the kind of characters they bring in here. Drastic change. Exactly. Oh, Dylan Error. Yeah, okay. Okay, dude. Wait for him to be famous now. You see, in a perfect world, I would say I will ignore this. I don't care if you want to listen to it or not. But I know this is going to be what puts Jack and Lilly back on the map. But not in the right way, people. Everybody will get really bored with it and realize that, you know, all the news is non-news. CPS failed, RCMP failed, and now it's only horse shit. So I might as well tell people ahead of time. So whenever some of you comment somewhere else, you don't become impressed by people who believe it. And he's trying so hard to convince us that he doesn't know Daniel. Recognize that? He's trying a little bit too hard. A little bit too hard.
CMP are a piece of shit, all right? And I don't believe all detectives, all right? Because there is somebody involved in human trafficking, and it just ain't people, all right?
No, there's not. No, there's not. You see, they want to sell us the trafficking narrative. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
Just ain't people. You can buy the police cash. We pay more money to the police.
We pay more money to the police, really?
in the government than the fucking negative for a paycheck. All right?
He's correcting himself here. Listen to this fool. Listen, we pay more money to the police and the government. You see, he was going to say we pay cash to the police. But he changes it very quickly to we pay money to the police and the government with our taxes, right? He doesn't want to go there. He doesn't want to allege that he actually pays cash to the police. He's taking it back because he's going too far and he notices it.
Just saying, people, you can buy the police with cash. We pay more.
You see, you can buy the police for cash is very different than saying we pay cash. Really? You want to admit to bribing or go into this type of fabrication? That would be slander, right? To say that you pay cash to the police. That would be slander, and you know it. That's why you catch yourself. And look at what he says instead. We pay
money to the police and the government than the fucking negative for a paycheck. All right? They're the laziest piece of shit I ever.
Yeah, now he can say, I was talking about taxes, man. Sorry, guys, you misunderstood me. I wonder when he met Daniel once. Yeah. Why pick him? Because they can't find anybody in the right mind. They can't find anybody better. Because anybody else would say, you crazy? I'm not going to come up with this crap. I'm not going to talk this way. I'm not going to put myself out there to this, oh God.
Scene. In Sussex, New Brunswick, if you want a cop, you just go to Tim Hortons. What?
You just go to Tim Hortons? Why you mention Tim Hortons?
That's what they're all at anyway, the fucking lazy mutt. They should go.
Yeah, but he's
stop signs. We need Donald Trump here and get rid of the RCMP and put ISIS on the corners. And if people don't want ISIS on the
right
corners, because they got something to hide.
Does Darren like Donald Trump, by the way? I think so, right? I looked at his...
They got something to hide. Put them on the corner. I get in the hide. I smoked over in front of them. I don't give a fuck.
Look at this overacting, man. Just another folio. Wow. This is really horrible. But again, it's a circus anyways, so let's just make sure we point out preemptively what the saga is going to be. What somebody is trying to do. You know, trying to sidetrack again and again and again. In Canada, you can't smoke in front of them. Am I back on or what? I think so. Oh my gosh. He's very focused, people. He's very, very focused and very, very scripted and very careful with what he is saying. He caught himself. He started saying that he pays cash or we pay cash to the cops. But he changed it to paying money to police and government via taxes. That's going to be, he knows better. He knows better. He's in the right state of mind to catch himself and change it to we pay money to the government and police, which we all do. Taxes, yes. He's in a very clear state of mind, trying to portray himself as a whack job, to have deniability. and later be able to say, well, I was really high, but I was telling the truth. So please, people, let this be it, and don't give him more attention than he needs to get later on. And if necessary, inform people of what you already realize. Will this shit show ever end? No. It's not going to ever end, people. You're going to have Karens running through the forest. You're going to have people like that popping up, trying to sidetrack. But answers are not going to come.
I'm sorry for my attitude, but look what he did.
No. Nice try. Nice try, Sherwood. Let's call him Sherwood, shall we? Just do hashtag Sherwood if you see him anywhere. And I will add Sherwood the hashtag. Not Durwood, but Sherwood. You know why? I believe that Darren is going to be silent now. I believe that Darren is getting it. And now they're saying, let's get somebody else. Who else can we get? And this dude volunteered.
To me. Look what he did to me. I've been 5 to 13 molested, beaten, abused.
I don't know what's happening here that I keep tuning out. Maybe the universe is telling me to stop, but it's almost done. Holy moly. Holy moly. I think I'm back. Sorry, man.
For my attitude, but look what he did to me. Look what he did to me. I've been 5 to 13.
So why are your eyes lighting up when you're talking about personal trauma? Are you delighted with your own performance? Is that your way of expressing Dupin delight right now? That you think about the idiots that believe you? That's exactly what it is, people. He's excited that he's now going to be in the limelight. And I believe you met Daniel a lot more than you just said. Because you said you don't know him, except you met him for a second, and then it was a minute. And you feel the need to tell us that you don't know Daniel. Why is that? Do I need to go back to we should hook up Sherwood with the woman that has the rake. Sherrod. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I don't want to know about that. Sherwood and Fluffy. What a circus, people. What a freaking circus. Wow.
Bastard, beat, and abuse. You understand what I'm saying to you guys?
Oh my God. And you know what? I bet you a lot of people will believe him. A lot of people. They will say, you see, they are in the reservation. You see, he gave Malaya a ride. You see? the most people will probably think there's something to it. So yeah, in a way, I'm thinking, why am I doing this? But then also I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe it's a good thing to be preemptive here. Because if there's one thing I learned more than anything is that there is no limit to what people are willing to believe or going to pay attention to. No limit. And I'm pretty much done with Summerwells for today anyway. So yeah, let's get Sherwood going, man. Sherwood, whatever. But I need some more coffee, man, because I don't just looking at his face, man. Oh my God. What's the Lansdowne version of Hollywood? Lollywood? Or Lallywood? This is Lallywood right here, man. Lansdowne, Hollywood. Lallywood. Or Gaylock Road. Gaileywood. No, Lallywood. That's good. Lollywood. You decide what's better, Lallywood or Lollywood. Give me a second, man. I need to get some artificial motivation from coffee to suffer through the last 2 minutes of this. I may go back to show you now how I approach people's statements and point out whether or not you're being deceived or somebody's trying to deceive you. Applying the Platts system. Yeah, I think so. I think he is. Give me a second, people. If you have an important statement to make, so important that you go on YouTube for the first time in 3 years, and your only other video being about a raccoon, you are not going to tell people again and again that you are high. If you are high, you will try to hide it because you're serious about your message. You may slip up to a couple of times. You may slip up, but you're not going to tell us a dozen times that you get drunk, that you smoke ganja. You're not going to discredit yourself. You do that when you're worried and you need deniability and you feel self-conscious about lying to the general public. That's when you do that. You do not discredit your own message if it's important to you and you believe in it. This dude is fully aware of what he's saying and what he's doing. And he caught himself, knowing that if he said he gave cash to the police, he could get in serious trouble with this allegation. Then we give money to police and government. Now he's able to say, I pay taxes. That's what I meant. Yeah, he caught himself really, really well. Let's hear the crescendo and the coda.
I understand. I got no help. I asked for help. I never got it. All right.
So he is wanting to portray himself as a victim. He wants to appeal to anybody who has any type of victim mentality. I'm one of you. I understand your pain. I'm going through it. Feel sorry for me. Identify with me. Please promote whatever horse crap I am about to say.
How many times I tried to kill myself?
See?
Oh my gosh.
But he's trying to get into sad mode. He's trying to get some tears going.
I shot people at home invasion. I have stabbed people.
I shot people at home invasion. I have stabbed people. What?
For protection, to protect my life. All right?
Okay. You see, I'm waiting for the real tear. Because then I can actually pay attention to something. When there is such a discrepancy, when somebody's trying hard to cry, but he can't, take notice. Because there's a pattern change within what he is doing right now. Okay? If I see a real tear, then I'm going to look at exactly what he was saying right before that. So that is something that I'm looking for right now.
If the cops want to come in my door right now, they gotta be ready, because I got 7 fucking dogs.
Okay. You talk about shooting people, right? For protection. So he said, if the cops come to my door right now, so I was waiting for him to see if he's going to say, I got some guns. You know, how did you shoot people without having guns at home? But now he's going into 7 dogs. Oh, that's your threat. You want to act like you're a tough guy right now. You know what I mean? But you keep yourself from saying, if the cops come, I'm going to shoot him too. Yeah, you know better than that, dude, because you're not as high as you, if at all, as you want us to believe. What a fool, man.
Guess what? If my dog don't eat him, I will.
If the dogs don't need him, eat him, I will. Yeah.
If my dog don't eat him, I will. I'll guarantee you.
You think he's insane or putting this act on? Or you think he is absolutely mental, playing on it and exaggerating for the purpose of what? For the purpose of, as I said, you know what? This case had me going into directions I never thought before.
I never did nothing wrong. I took the blame for people. I'm not a rat. But you know what? I'm dying, and I'm going to turn this over. The system wrecked my life, my children's life.
Okay, maybe you feel like that. Maybe you feel like that. But what about what you wanted to say in the very beginning? Do you have information about Malaya and Daniel? You went over this, but now it's all about you.
My children's life. My children's life. I never get a chance to hold my grandchildren. All right? What about that? What about that? Tell me, people. Tell me. Why? Where's my fucking rights? I'm so sorry. I swear. But this is Vince Mallory. Look what they did to me. You understand, everybody? I'm so sorry. I'm cutting this off. I can't take no more.
All right.
Do you understand, Mr.
All right. What about that? How great was that?
Hello, people.
Not. I'm not surprised, by the way. You see, you have these searches, these so-called searches. All of a sudden, there is like, oh, a doll, Malaya, Lilly, you know, they keep things in. They're trying to keep things interesting and try to keep people moving and looking in the wrong direction. So I'm not surprised that now, and Belinda even said, this is the first time in 200 days or something like that, that nobody posted about Jack and Lilly. I'm not surprised that all of a sudden we have something, you know, Darren, I think he's bowing out. He's realizing something, man. He doesn't want to impact his son or his family. Anyways, people. Now I feel like playing Janie's Got a Rake. Because now I allowed the circus to come to town. You want to hear what he said about Malaya? Was it about Malaya? Let's hear this again, man. I don't care. Because I'm pretty much done for today, but why not?
I want to tell you about Jack and Lilly. I never met them. I don't know them. All I know, I was coming back from the graveyard up in Muscadabbit, and I almost ran over
Muscadabbit. Okay, I just learned it anyways.
a girl.
You almost ran over a girl? What?
I drove her to my home because she didn't want to go nowhere.
He's not talking about Malaya.
She said her boyfriend threw her out of her truck. So I knew that was a lie because she was not marked up. Anyway, I brought her home and I asked her if she wanted.
Oh my goodness. Tell me what to do, people. Oh, he was, Robin? Okay. Well, I don't pay attention to those things. I'm done with that. But here's the thing. Durwood is not appearing anywhere. Right? He's not appearing in any lives. He's not being interviewed. I think that you know, nobody wants him on right now. And so maybe they come up with something better for people to pay attention to now. Wow.
Going to call anybody? No. I put a coffee on. I smoked a couple of joints of weed. She didn't smoke weed. She hauled a needle,
envelope with a powder and a bottle of Dilaudid out of her pocket. And
drunk and high people do not try to convince you that they're drunk and high when they have a message at all. Period. Because that's all they got, Robin. That's all they got, because people lose interest. You understand? It's exactly what I predicted, that with these types of events, non-events, people will lose interest. So they're trying to keep the case interesting. That's what exactly they're doing. They know people are not going to donate, people are not going to people are going to lose complete interest. The bodies are not going to be found. We're not going to have answers. So now there's going to be a lot more than that. So I'm not surprised that Kent is going down the same road. But again, I don't care what happens on other channels. I want to know only what happened to them. And the reason that I am entertaining this right now is because I want you guys to realize that while others are going to talk about, is he for real? Is he legit? That we are able to examine him right now. And so if people pay too much attention to him, understand that that may not be where you want to be. You may not want to be the dead horse. And this guy is here for a reason.
And we were talking, and I told her, I said, you need to find God. You need to get away from this shit. I don't care what your boyfriend did to you. You need to get out of it. And she was crying, and I felt so bad for her.
Again, none of these people are important, but this is such a shit show that, you know.
All right. So about an hour later, I smoked dope while I was driving. Sure did. Anyway, while I was driving, I took her home up to the reserve. Anyway, you make long.
Is he talking about Malaya or what? What is he talking about right now? Did he mention her name? One of you said he's talking about Malaya. I don't know. Or is he trying to make it sound like he's talking about her, but he's not referring to her directly? Yeah, he's talking about the reserve because he wants people to think the children are on the reserve. Because people don't believe Durwood. And if Kent supports it, well, more people will believe it. And now they got another guy who's going to give you the impression that there's something there.
Story short, I never seen her again. And
right, he is avoiding the name. He's avoiding it, but now people are going to say, oh, he took Malaya. Maybe it was Malaya, maybe not. You see the vagueness here?
November the 27th, 2022.
3 years ago, huh?
We came home.
Who? Who came home? Give me a first name.
Hold it.
Hold it, yeah. He's trying to insinuate that he picked her up after a fight with her boyfriend and he drove her to the reserve back then. So maybe a fight with Daniel and she went to family. Yeah, but that happened 3 years ago, people. Something from 3 years ago, but he's not naming her. Again, I don't care what happens in other chats unless it's really important. And I don't care about the bystanders. I don't care about Kent, or that's not important to me. And, you know, back then I said, I'm waiting until, well, now I know better. I know people will pay attention to this. They'll discuss it. Some girl named Shannon, he's been talking for a while now, also contacted Belinda about that girl, and now he's accusing Belinda of knowledge. He is where? When? Not in this video, and that's the only video on his channel, Steph. What am I missing here? I didn't hear anything about Belinda here. Oh, on Facebook, right? Okay. So what is he accusing her of? Let me know so I don't have to look it up. Oh my God, people. You see, when Belinda made a post about it's been 200 days or whatever, I knew that something was going to come. They're not going to let this die or let people forget. My question is, who put him up to it? They're going to keep the news going, even if they have nothing, which is where we are at. We don't have anything.
No, I got to back up. That's the way it hit story. I brought her home. Oh yes, I'm ahead. I'm right. All right. She called me about 3 months later on my birthday.
Who?
November the 27th, 1922.
Okay. You remember that, huh? Notice something? You're always high, you're always drunk, but you remember details.
Asked me, can she come over and spend the night? I said, yes. If you're drunk, you're high, whacked out, no. I'm not into drunken women and whacked out women, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure you're not.
If I want a pig, I get my own. But anyway, let's make a long story short. I said, okay. She goes, well, I'm going to get my friend to drive me over. She lives down the road from you. And I said, don't bring him in my fucking...
He lives down the road from you? Her friend or her boyfriend? Daniel lives down the road from you. So I'm waiting for you to name her. Shannon? Who's Shannon? I don't think he is confused. He's playing confused.
I'll tell you right now, don't bring nobody in my fucking yard. She said, well, can I meet you at Union Center? I said, sure can. So I got in the car. I smoked a couple of joints again. You know that. That's me. That's Vince Mallory. And I went down to the Union Hall. There was a black truck. There was a trailer. We got in the I got in the car. She got in the truck. He got in the truck. I passed her stuff because that's what she wanted. And she passed it to the guy. Now it's nighttime. I don't know. In the law, you can't prove that because it's darkness, kind of a little bit of light. And was it him exactly? I'm not 100% sure. But he, when I passed the stuff, she passed it to him. I went over and we shook hands. And I said, where are you from up here? He said, I live on the Lansdowne Station up the other side of the track. Oh, okay. I never thought nothing of it. And then She come here.
You never thought nothing of what? You said nothing of what? What are you suggesting? He's trying to make it sound like he's saying something without actually saying it. It's major avoidance too. This is a complete fabrication. And look at him right now. Look at his eyes shifting. He's thinking very hard. He's well prepared, people. And he's not high, at least not high enough to be uncertain. But he wants to use it in order to excuse his vagueness. He's trying to convince you that he's impaired. He is not.
And she was straight. We both had a shower. She was clean. We made out. I'm a lucky guy. But
we made out. You made out with whom? I'm a lucky guy. Okay. He's closing his eyes. Yeah. Shannon equals Malaya and Cody's friend. Okay. Shannon what? You can ask Shannon for me. How was it? She was the lucky one. Yeah, and she called him back for his birthday because, wow. You see, I would think that a woman who made out with him may not want to remember, but apparently there's something that you don't know. There's something that you're missing. That this woman had the pleasure of experiencing. Right. Well, I don't know, guys. Yeah. Don't be jealous, people.
I'm 49, she was 25. I was a lucky guy.
40, what? What he say? Let me hear this again. That was 3 years ago?
I'm a lucky guy. Back on 49, she was 25. I was
He was 4. I'm 49. He's 49. He's 49? Or he was 49 3 years ago. Are you kidding me? How old does he look? Yeah, he looks like, he looks Darren's age, man. You're not 49, dude. But again, he can say, I was so high, I don't know what I'm talking about, and this, oh my God. You know what I mean? He can always, can you hear me despite the fan? "49" or Father Time. We are listening to Fulio. We are listening to Fulio. Wow.
lucky guy. Anyway, to make a long story short.
To make a long story short. Story time. He can't make it short because he has no facts. He has only suggestions to keep people's minds occupied. He only has fabrications. Fulio Part 3. That's all he got. You see, if you present facts. Facts stand on their own. When you are being factual, you keep things short because you want to get straight to the facts. And he's not even telling us what he's trying to say. That's why he's pretending to be high. Because he is avoiding to get into detail that can be proven false. I was high. I was imagining it. If the girl comes and says, "What you mean, you nasty bastard? I never made out with you. Oh, I'm sorry, I was high. I thought maybe I did it or whatever." You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He is going to be able to take back anything. And other than Darren, who gotten himself so deep into the fabrications, he wants to avoid going down the same road, along the same road. That's why preemptively he already tells you, anything that I'm saying, you can never hold against me. I was not in the right state of mind.
That morning, she was cooking me breakfast, and me smoking my dope. That's Vince Maury.
I find this comment really funny by Steph. She says, "And now you know why I went off dating sites. Imagine getting matched with Pictu's finest." She did. Sherrod Fulio from Lansdowne. This is Sherrod Fulio. Not Vincent Mallory, but Sherrod Fulio. Yeah. From Larrywood. Lollywood or Lollywood. Yeah, Lollywood sounds right, huh? Lansdowne Station, Hollywood. Lollywood. This is Lollywood, people. Hashtag Lollywood. The cast is complete. And no, I'm not going to watch him anywhere else unless somebody is gonna share another direct video from him. Because, wow, I don't know what to say, man. The only thing I can say is that I'm happy to have this chat going where you guys already point out with clarity what exactly his intentions are. And yeah. Wow, man. One thing that I was pretty sure of is that while I'm live, some new stuff is always coming, but I didn't imagine for it to be some like that. La La Land, Lally, Lollywood, Insanity Station. Yeah, he hears it now about Wong. You see, No. No. I'm going to be sick of it in a minute, man.
Doing my dishes. I got lots of pictures of it. That's not a problem. So I'm not telling her stuff.
So first he's making out with her, and then she does the dishes for him. Right. And he's 49 years old. Okay. He's 49. She's 25. They're making out, and then she is so happy to be there. She's doing the dishes for him. Got it. Got it. That's overacting, people. That's Lollywood. What's better, Lollywood or Lollywood? I'd say Lollywood. That's Lollywood, people. That's the best that they can do. Doesn't matter if it's Darren or who it is. That's the best they can do, man. Suddenly they're on stage. Or suddenly they got all the attention. And they know there are enough dipshits who believe him. And so, all of a sudden, they're encouraged.
I am telling a story, a true one. And so I can talk to her because she knows my partner who passed away with cancer home in bed with me. She knew her, all right? Because that's how she got my number.
Everybody knows everybody in Lollywood, except you don't know Daniel, right? You don't know Daniel. Oh, you met him for 1 second, then you met him for a minute. I know everybody knows everybody down there. I have no doubt. There are not that many people. They're playing games, people. They're having fun with this.
Number. There's more to this story than I can say right now.
Right. There's more to this story. It's a story. It's a story. There's more than I can say right now. Yeah. This means he's going to fabricate a lot more. But for now, this is all he can do until he sees the reaction from people. And just in case anybody in the future is going to talk about him and then say, oh, I figured out first. No, remind people who's told you in the very beginning what's going on, in case somebody wants to take credit for it. I'm telling you right now. And yes, a lot of them, they're going to take it seriously. And a week later, they say, oh, I just figured it out. I figured it out first, that he's not credible. Make sure to tell them who told you first.
Wait, I told her about my partner who passed away, why she was leaving him, because he was diddling kids up in my...
So that wouldn't be Malaya. But if it's a Shannon and her partner lives right down the road, who is that partner? Because you're making some accusations here, some serious accusations. So yeah, you may not want to use a name, but now he's going to talk about Daniel. So some people may think he's referring to Malaya here. That would be the boyfriend or the partner of the woman that made out with him. Follow it very closely because he's being vague on purpose. He's talking about the woman he picked up. He almost ran her over. He picked her up. He's 49, yeah, right. And she's 25, okay. Don't know. Taking him, they're making out at his house. because he's a lucky guy. She's doing the dishes, and her partner was accused of diddling. Follow closely and hold him, remember.
Muscadabit. I have a
Muscadabit, right? Is that how you say it? Muscadabit. I don't even care. I'm not even going to look up how it's spelled. But if Muscadabit sounds okay to you, I'm going to say it like that. Wow, it's too easy, right? Muscadabit. Holy crap. You say Wade and Cindy live near Muscadabit? Really? I don't know.
laptop here that can't get it on. That she hide.
I have a laptop here that can't get it on? Maybe you couldn't get it on. How about that? That's interesting language, right? The laptop can't get it on. That can't get it on. You're blaming the laptop? Are you trying to suggest you couldn't get the laptop on or you can't get it on? I have a laptop here that can't get it on. That's laptop shaming right there. Yeah, you know what? It sounds funny, but guess what? There's leakage all over the place. When people, and the old cemetery, okay, Muscadabit Old Cemetery, got it. I can't believe I'm doing this, but why not? Oh my God. What the hell, man? Belinda and Cody, really? Okay, well, let's see.
She hid it until she moved out of there. And I got the laptop.
And I got the laptop.
All right?
All right.
She reported him to the police. She reported him to the school. She reported to a couple of neighbors, and no one did nothing about it. All right?
Okay.
Let it go. Nothing you can do. So anyway, she told me a story right after that, because she knew what I was talking about. We're talking about something now up in Muscadabit, but this ex-husband. She said, "Oh, I'm going to take these two little kids," she says, "from this place," she said, "because they're being physical and mental abuse."
I'm getting where he's going, and you are too. It's all leading up to him making a suggestion, but without committing to it. So this woman, but that was 3 years ago, in 2022. How does that relate? Does that relate to Jack and Lilly now? Did he skip some time or what? You think he's creepy? Well, according to him, this 25-year-old girl didn't think so. She was into him. But the laptop couldn't get it on. I think somebody else couldn't get it on. I think that's actually leakage, people. Seriously. Some form of leakage.
And she was.
So this was 2022. Jack was 1 year old. (2022) was Malaya with Daniel? No. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Right when she told me she wasn't high.
Okay, guys, I think I've had enough for now. I really have enough. You can rewind it and watch it later. But this is all the attention I'm going to give him. This was the original topic, Summerverse. And I personally don't think she's alive in this picture, guys. So I'm going to go also. Let me put plaids up because I love this new image so much. And thank you for watching, everybody. I think that's it. Have a good night, people. Ciao.